It's week 6 of the...
Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now they'll start on the ground with Charbonnet.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Here's Smith. Fighting to stay upright.
To the sideline and incomplete. You look at this Niner defense.
They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor.
And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete. This secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, the pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and you know the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. He'll look to throw.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great...
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Jonathan Taylor.
His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the 49ers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
This is Fant on the short completion.
Well, this defense for the Niners very strong in that victory a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Smith now to throw.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down.
You look at this Niner defense.
This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does?
And now off to the races down the right side.
And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25.
A big play there for the Niners. 56 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Running left, Taylor.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That good for 19 and a 1st down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule,
and he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Will Mallory
from 3 yards out.
And the 49ers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Moody good with the extra point.
And it's now 14-0.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now Gino on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2 seconds to go, 1st quarter.
Second down, here's Charbonnet.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a third down coming up.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right at the 35. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
That one goes for 30 yards.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And so close, he gets it to the one. Out of bounds right there.
57 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Back to throw here. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Will Mallory
with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the 49ers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Moody good with the extra point.
And it's now 21-0.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
Throwing is Smith.
He finds Smith and Jigba.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. From the 50, it's Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the 49ers are able to add on to their first half lead. Moody good with the extra point.
And that makes the score 28-0.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's Smith now on second down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
That is caught, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Here we go, set.
They go play action here on 1st down.
He's got Ayuk once again.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
A give for Taylor running right side.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll look to throw here.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
So we've come to halftime after a very...
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, 49ers.
And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Taken at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So a sensational return there on special teams, a foot race that he was not going to lose. Now, meanwhile, while that was going on, we've got an injured player on the field.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
The Smith's throw caught here by Metcalf.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down. Play action. It's Smith. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spend in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this.
Throw out left, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Geno. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. How about this?
And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Ready?
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
Jonathan Taylor
with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game.
And the Niners continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away.
Now James returning.
And he returns this to the 22. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Nick Bosa able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno down to throw.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And taken down just shy of the 40. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Here's Smith.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Taken from just outside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter.
They run once more with Taylor.
And some room to roam now.
Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends. Back now in Seattle, Washington.
Here we go.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
116 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. To the right side, this is Taylor.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their 4th quarter lead.
Have to hold the line.
Extra point try now for Moody.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
And out now come the Seahawks.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
On 1st down, it's Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they take over already yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And they're going to speed things up here.
Again, it's Taylor.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Jonathan Taylor.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the 49ers add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Moody good with the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
On first down, Smith.
They'll get that to Charbonnet.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now Geno. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Back to throw, Smith.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Smith's throw into the hands of Fant.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Smith.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's...
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Buda Baker with a pick.
He's to the 15.
And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
An extra point try now for Moody.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Throwing after the interception. Smith firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw is Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. Still going inside the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Myers connects on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
And they'll accept that penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he's going to have a Niners first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
There he goes, right side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Down inside the 20. Wow, 204 yards rushing now, as he's done it on 22 carries.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go.
2nd and 7.
Ready?
Running straight ahead, Taylor. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at